Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor arrived on the scene back in 2014, it didn't exactly redefine the open-world action combat game genre. In fact, it was a bit repetitive and I didn't find the storyline all that memorable. Despite this, I love the game. The Nemesis system, varied enemies, level progression, brutal combat, and all that yummy Lord of the Rings lore just sucked me right in. I couldn't get enough of it. So when Middle-earth Shadow of War was announced back in February, my ears perked up and I found myself hitting the web gobbling up any ounce of information I could get. While at E3 this year, I was lucky enough to get my hands on an extended demo of the game which gave us a nice look at Shadow of War's open world setting. Additionally, we played a fortress assault mission, a side quest, and tinkered with some of the new weaponry and gear. Overall, there's plenty to be excited about, but we decided to identify 5 things that have us really ramped up for the game. Throughout the game, players will encounter fortress assaults, which are action-packed sieges of enemy-controlled castles that dominate each of the game's main regions. We don't know how many of these castles you'll encounter in the game, but needless to say, the one we played at E3, which was set early in the game, was difficult, unforgiving, but completely satisfying when you take down that final war chief. There's no rushing into these sieges either. You have to plan your attack, bring along suitable allies, and even scout what kind of enemies you're about to encounter. If you go in unprepared or recklessly, you're gonna die quickly. It's organized chaos at its best and is easily one of my most anticipated aspects of the game.
You burn my mind? I'll kill you! Until this moment, you have not known suffering!
Shadow of Mordor's Nemesis system is one of the most interesting and unique aspects of the game. Developer Monolith Productions have doubled down on the system with Shadow of War, making it deeper with more choices and more variation. Gaining allies seems more important than ever. Every orc you dominate and gain by your side can be used in sieges and other battles. They can also be assigned as your personal bodyguards. If you find yourself in trouble, one of your allied orc chiefs could come to your aid, so building your army will become a critical component of the game. Bottom line, this Nemesis system is crazy deep, has personality, and looks incredible.
Did you really think you could kill me that easily?
Shadow of War features terrific looking enemies. The detail in the animations is simply brilliant. Granted, our demo was played in 4K, so naturally we expected slick looking graphics. But regardless, all the enemies seem to have their own personality and look. The facial expressions and detail of the armor are impressive as hell. Orcs in most games can appear somewhat generic, but that's not the case here at all. Shadow of War features unique looking enemies who all manage to accurately capture the brutish, hostile, and repulsive nature of the orcs found in Lord of the Rings. Monolith Productions have gone on record to say that Shadow of War is 3 to 4 times bigger than Shadow of Mordor. One quick look at the map in the demo and you can certainly see just how massive this world is. This is great news for fans looking to soak an easy 100 hours into this game, as clearly there will be a ton to do. So far, everything seems to be bigger and better in Shadow of War, and the game's map is no exception.
We've expanded the RPG systems in Shadow of War enormously.
Who doesn't love loot? We all do. Just like every other aspect of the game, Monolith is going all in with the game's loot system, which is all part of its expansive gear and equipment system. Cloaks, swords, chest plates, ranged weapons, capes, rings, you name it. Each piece of gear looks unique as well, and has its own level, which is similar to Destiny's loot system. Not to mention some equipment is tied to challenges, which is pretty cool. All in all, the loot system appears deep, and is yet another reason players can grind away for hours on end.
What new devilry is this?
I come for you.
So there you have it, 5 things we absolutely love about Middle-earth Shadow of War. But we want to know what aspects you're most excited about. Be sure to tell us in the comments down below. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to COD Connected for all things gaming, and for news, reviews, features, and more, check us out online at codconnected.com.